And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Benched with Bubba, episode 819. We're here to continue our team-by-team previews to get you ready for the 2026 fantasy baseball season. We're going to go to the NL East to talk some Atlanta Braves baseball. In order to help me do so for the second straight season is a friend of mine, a great nacho eater, loves a nice cold beer. You can find him on the Palazzo podcast, and you can find him on Twitter at Britton Allan. Britton Allan, how you doing, my friend?
What up, Bubba? It is so great to see you. So great to talk to you about the Atlanta Braves, ATL Georgia. What can I do for you? Been very excited about it. Not such a great year last year, but I guess we'll get into that. But I love your team by team podcast. I've listened to everyone, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
Yep, love having you back. You bring the energy, you bring the knowledge. It's absolute joy. I just enjoy talking to you, anyways. But it's good to be able to do this. Before we go into the Braves talk, I mentioned the Palazzo podcast, 2 L's. What do we got going on over there these days? I've seen some tweets. You guys are ramping things up. Everything's going.
We're doing a little off season, like every other week situation. So if you would, please follow us on YouTube. Palazzo is 2 L's, 2 Z's, Pallazzo. Where does that come from? It's a long story, and I'm not going to bore you with it, but it does go back to the Naked Gun movie. And Michael Govier, shout out, he started the Palazzo podcast, and me and our good friend Mike Virginia co-host it. And it's a lot of fun. We talk about fantasy baseball. We love fantasy baseball. You're not going to hear a lot about spin rates. Okay, that's not our show. Our show is more just three dudes that love baseball, love fantasy baseball, and every now and then, hopefully there'll be some actionable fantasy baseball advice, or we're going to talk about the hunt for Red October for about 30 minutes, which happened once. So we try to mix in some fun and some fantasy baseball.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It's a great. I say it's a great shift from some of the other shows that are out there. Let's put it that way, and that's a good thing. People need to. It's like something that some other people like joke about when I say it a lot, but in the end, fantasy baseball should be fun. And if you're not having a good time, then I don't know what you're doing it for. Like if it stretches you out that much, you shouldn't be doing it. If you want to have fun, 2 L's, 2 P's, Palazzo Pod, or 2 Z's, sorry, Palazzo Podcast. Go check them out. They are a lot of fun, especially live. And then especially then they might be a part of let's say a family feud and stuff like that. Like
Oh yeah,
it's a party. It's a party with the boys. So,
it's game show nonsense. But
yes,
at
I
the end
love
of
it.
the day, we love baseball. The three of us, we live and breathe baseball. Opening day is my second favorite day of the year. I love everything about baseball is what we live for, and it's also fantasy baseball too is also fun because I get to go to first pitch and I get to hang out with you and Bloom. I meet a bunch of fun people. Most of the guests on your show I've met in person. They're
Yep.
so nice. So it's just a great community and it's a lot of fun.
Totally agree. Let's talk Atlanta Braves baseball now. Let's get to it. 2025 was another one of those years that we were optimistic that the offense was going to find it again. Injuries and whatnot did not allow it to happen. How do you think 2025 went as a whole for the Atlanta Braves?
Disaster. Unmitigated disaster for the Braves. Okay, so the Braves have high expectations. They've got Ronald Acuna Jr., one of the most talented baseball players in the league. I think we all know that. So many good players. Let me tell you how bad last year went. Everything went wrong. They had 76 wins. The Marlins had 79 wins. But Atlanta fans can't. That's no good. You can't have a better win record than the Miami Marlins. No offense to the Marlins, shout out, but the Braves expect something a little bit better with their history of their players in the program. And it was bad when they fired Brian Snitker. Yes, they fired Brian Snitker, who had been part of the Braves organization for 49 years.
Jesus.
He started as a player in like 1977 or something when the original Star Wars came out. He had been there so long, but it was such a disaster they had to fire him too. And I don't know if they technically fired him. They said, "Hey, why don't you be a consultant?" That kind of situation. But man, he got fired. So yeah, it was a bad year. Everybody had a down year except Mr. Drake Baldwin, but I'm sure we'll get to that.
We will 100% get to the reigning National League Rookie of the Year, but we'll start with Mr. Acuna, who you mentioned had the injury yet again. Played 95 games, came back from the injury, I should say. 21 homers, 9 steals, not bad for 95 games. I think we'd all like to see where that would have kept going. Hit 290, so still played some really, really good ball when he was back. But right now, the question is, do you trust him to run? Because ADP over the last 7 days in DCs is 8. He's going anywhere from 4 to 13 over like the last 8 drafts. What are your thoughts on Acuna entering 2026?
I love Ronald Acuna. Love him. I have a T-shirt with his face on it. That's how much I love the man. I love his swag. I love his game. I think he's great. The thing is, his ADP is like 9 in draft champions, draft and hold leagues, and he's going ahead of like Corbin Carroll, like Paul Skeens, Ellie De La Cruz, and with his injury history, I just I just can't do it. I just won't do it. And he's a great player, but the injuries have stacked up. He has 2 surgically repaired knees, not one dose, and that's an issue. He's 28 years old. He's been in the league for 8 years now, so it's adding up. And if you look at his stat line throughout the years, like he started in rookie season was in 2018. He was 20 years old. Here we are, 2026. He's 28 years old. In those years, he's had 2 boom years. And when I say boom, I mean Stephen Hawking, physics, Big Bang, that television show that people loved. I never watched it, but you know what I'm talking about. Big Bang Boom, Goodfellas, Bang Bang Boom, at the dinner table, that kind of thing. So literally 40 home runs, 70 stolen bases. But those other years were injury riddled or meh. Now, so what did he do last year in 95 games? 21 home runs, 9 stolen bases. All right. So let's say he does a full season. You can expect, 30 home runs, maybe 12 stolen bases, maybe 15 stolen bases, something around there. And that's good. That's first round, end of the first round production, but you're not getting a break. Like, that's if he makes it the whole season. And the odds of that happening, I just don't think are good. I just don't. So we'll see about that. But yeah, I have a major concern of one of my favorite players in the league. What do you think, Bubba?
Yeah, like it's his price to your point that's doing it for me. Like if he was like a second round pick, I'd probably be much more intrigued to take
Oh,
place
hell yeah.
because I love Corbin Carroll. Like massively love Corbin Carroll. Obviously, Kyle Tucker, I've always loved, gets a boost now with the way things are going. There's just a list to your point of what's going around him. Like I don't fault, I guess, anyone for taking Acuna, but it's just the risk. I don't take the risk in the first round if I don't have to. At least a known risk in the first round. Like if he plays healthy this whole year, well, we'll have another discussion next year and we'll probably be much more inclined to do so. But there's a lot of concerns, and that's just not my style with him. Like to your point, you love him. I'm rooting for him. The dude is an electric factory. Like I want to be able to tune on like big inning on the MLB package and it'll be like, hey, here Acuna's up to bat. Oh, he hit one 480 feet again. Like I want to watch this. Don't get me wrong, but it won't be on my fantasy team most likely. There's the problem.
Every time he steals a base and he's got that stuff on, like you see him running and you're just holding your breath, just hoping nothing goes wrong because, that 70 stolen bases season, I feel like that's just taking its toll. It's like the human body just can't do that unless you're Ricky Henderson, but he's a freak. Like he's an alien from outer space or he was RIP, but yeah, but Ronald Acuna, I don't know, man. I 28 years old, isn't old, but 2 surgically repaired knees. I think I just would, like you, I want to be more safe. I want to go Corbin Carroll, and I know Corbin Carroll has had shoulder problems, but he's younger. He's gotten over it, and I really like Paul Skeens with that ERA, WHIP stabilization, 200 innings. That's how I would go as opposed to Acuna.
No doubt about it. Matty Olson, A guy that, he had the monster year in 2023 with the 54 homers, but last two seasons, 29 home runs each season. Counting stats are serviceable. He hit 272 last year. It's like an every other year does he hit for average situation. So it's like we're kind of seeing he's this really solid floor with potential spike. ADP over the last 7 days has been 56, last 14 about 55. So he's been hanging tight in that mid 50s range. What are your thoughts on Matt Olson? Because, like I said, it's not flashy, but I guess the floor is great enough to hope he becomes flashy again.
I mean, talk about consistent, Bubba. He's played 162 games 4 years in a row. Has any other player done that? I don't know. 4 years in a row, 162 games. Steady as she goes. Ray Conteras, Jack White, you know what I'm talking about. 162 games. Wow. The hard hit metrics are blood red. Chances are he's going to hit you 30 home runs, with maybe one stolen base. Solid as a rock. I just don't want to draft a first baseman, no matter how solid, unless it's like, Vlad, elite with some upside. Matt Olson doesn't have any upside. You're looking at 30 stolen bases, which is fine, but you're paying an ADP of 50. Like, I get it, but why not get old Michael Bush? Head for the mountains of Bush. Oh, I feel like cracking open a bush right now, Bubba.
That's great.
It's like I'm back in Knoxville, Tennessee, 1999.
Let's say you're back in the South. It's go time.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Give me that Michael Bush. Michael Bush hit over 30 home runs, and you can get him 50 picks later. Tyler Soderstrom is a stud doing at that Bubba Park where Bubba went to see the first game, Sutter Health. Yeah. I call it the Bubba Park. That's not illegally its name. But so,
trademark it. We'll work.
Yeah, watch out, Sutter Home. Don't come at me with your cease and desist letters. It's called Bubba Park. So Tyler Soderstrom, you can get him around pick 90. I love that. He's got huge upside too in that ballpark, and he hits the ball hard too. But what about this? All right, so I'm passing on Matt Olson, first baseman. I'm not going to draft a first baseman that high when you've got all these other solid options. What about old Alec Burleson for the St. Louis Cardinals? Not a great park, but he's at ADP around 200, first base and outfield eligible. Contreras has been shipped off to Boston. Alec Burleson is going to be the full-time first baseman. He plays often. He's not an injury risk. He hits the ball really, really hard. So he's got upside too. If you wanted to wait, you can wait on first base, I think. I don't think you need to reach for Matt Olson. What do you think?
No, you don't have to. I get it. Again, for people that want to, that's that comfort zone of being a steady Eddie. I get it. But yeah, it's like for me, I'm either taking Vlad or Alonso I'm interested in. Otherwise, I wait, to your point. Like I'm usually sitting back. You mentioned Soderstrom, Bush, Burleson, Christian Walker even. I mentioned
Torkelson hit 35 home runs last year. You got
There's a lot to like as the draft goes on. That's why the last few years don't have any Matt Olson shares. I just haven't had them because that's just where he goes. And hell of a ball player, really good real life ball player. Doesn't fit the way I build, and maybe that's a problem I should address. But that's just how I go about things as well. All right, let's go to Jerks and Profar, who missed a chunk of the season due to PEDs, but came back over 80 games, 14 homers, 9 steals, hit 245. It's going to be 33, but we've seen a very productive bat out of Profar. And his ADP is not costing you a lot. It's like 185-ish, give or take, right now. So it's pretty dang affordable. Where are you at on Jerks and Profar?
I'm in on Mr. Profar. 80 games because of the PED suspension, as you said, which he didn't tell the Braves about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's that was an
they pissed a little hot afterwards.
I bet that conversation was real uncomfortable. Yeah, you didn't mention this when you signed that 3-year deal. It's like, I don't have to. Players Association. Yep, forget exactly. You, Atlanta. But so he had 14 home runs, 9 stolen bases. I hate to extrapolate, but you got to coordinate with the mushrooms and say, look, if he has a full 162 games, and if the over/under on games played for Profar was 155, I'd take the over. I think he's going to come back and try to redeem himself after that embarrassing suspension. So you're looking at 28 home runs and maybe 16 stolen bases. 28 home runs, 16 stolen bases at ADP 181. This is value. Dollar General. Nothing in Dollar General costs $1. That's a lie. Okay. But you do go to Dollar General and stuff's cheap. And this is cheap production. This is good, solid, everyday production. Batting average ain't great though, Bubba. It's like 245 if you're lucky, maybe 250 on a good day. No upside. He's not going to bang out 35 home runs and 25 stolen bases. That ain't happening. But for a fourth outfielder, there's a heck of a lot of value for Jurickson Profar. My second favorite player from Curacao. Number one being the recently inducted in the Hall of Fame, Mr. Andrew Jones. Shout out Andrew Jones. Congratulations.
Yep. Well deserved. Absolute awesome. It's getting sad because you and I are getting older and we remember when these guys debuted now. Remember when we were kids, we never even saw these guys that made the Hall of Fame. Like, oh, this is cool. Let me figure out who they are.
They were for old people.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, oh, my dad watched
teasers.
And now we're sitting there going, I remember now when he made his debut. And like you just go through that. And then you realize he played for 17 years. It wasn't even like it was a small career. It's like, yeah, I'm old.
I'm so old. I sneezed the other day and I threw my neck out for 3 hours. That's old. That's like the definition of old. That's where I'm at.
I'm the king of like hearing my back pop like a xylophone when I sneeze the wrong way. I was like, now I know why Sammy Sosa went on the IL. I get it. I didn't get it when I was in college and I had 18, natural lights, but I get it now.
I still act like I'm young, but it's not working out that way.
We pay for it a lot worse. But
I got a trivia question for you. Are you into the trivia?
Sure, I'm into anything. We'll see how it goes.
Hey, yeah, that's what we do. Games on games. So Andrew Jones hit over 400 career home runs. I think it was like 420, something like that. During his career, I may be a little bit biased because I'm a Braves fan and I grew up in Jackson, Tennessee, where if you wanted to watch baseball, you turned on TBS because that's the only place to find baseball.
In California, you turned on TBS too, and like 3:30 our time, the Braves came on, so we know.
I'll never forget sitting in my living room, growing up in the early '90s, watching Smoltz, Glavine, the Mad Dog Maddox, and obviously Chipper Jones and that whole thing. But anyway, and Andrew Jones is the best defensive center fielder to ever play, and I know that's a bold statement, but I honestly believe that. Man, he just made it look easy. God, I love Andrew Jones. I'm getting the vapors. I'm getting a little red. Get a little red. That's not the box red wine either. That's me just talking about Andrew Jones.
Beautiful.
But anyway, I'm sorry. So 10 Gold Gloves during his 17-year career. 10. Yeah. So there are only 4 players that have had 400 career home runs and 10 Golden Glove awards. Can you take a stab at the other 3?
I'd like to say Barry Bonds because he was a Gold Glove machine.
I'm sorry, incorrect.
He didn't get to 10. Ken Griffey Jr.
Correct. That's awesome, Bubba. Yes.
Yeah. Did Pudge get 10?
He did not. I'll give you a hint from the Philadelphia Phillies.
Oh man, Philadelphia Phillies. It's on the top of my head. Oh, because is it Schmidt?
Mike Schmidt is the other one. You are banging. I swear, ladies and gentlemen, I did not give Bubba a heads up.
No, there's one more now. Can I have a clue on the last one, please?
If I give you a clue, it'll give it away. He's the most famous. I mean, he's. Is
it Willie Mays?
It's Willie Mays.
Yeah, no, that's the one I was going to say out the gate. And I said Bonds, and I started second guessing myself. I'm like, originally, it's got to be Willie Mays. That makes way too much sense. 660 home runs.
That's so impressive.
Like the dude did things that Andrew Jones couldn't even do, and Andrew Jones did pretty much So okay, that makes sense.
I might have gotten Willie Mays. I never would have gotten Griffey Jr. or Smith. Never, not in a million years. So congratulations, Bubba.
I'm a baseball nerd. I'm a nerd.
You win a hearty supply of claps that you don't want or need, but here they are.
No one needs to clap. Trust me. Let's go. We're talking. Yeah, let's talk youth here, as you mentioned, guys that might be in the Hall of Fame, and hopefully I'm still alive. Drake Baldwin, the reigning NL Rookie of the Year, 19 home runs last year at 274. The batting average like that alone is great at catcher, let alone the power he brings to the table. With Baldwin, though, you're talking it's a top five-ish catcher when you're at the draft table. ADP's been just inside 100. It's about 92, 93 right now. Where are you sitting at on Drake Baldwin entering 2026?
This is the guy. This is the guy. Drake Baldwin for the Atlanta Braves. Pass on Kyle Raleigh. No disrespect. Mad, awesome, great year. But second round catcher that's bound for regression. Pass Kyle Raleigh. Pass Contreras. Pass Ben Rice. Love Ben Rice too, but you don't know how that playing time is going to work out, friends. We just don't. But we do know Drake Baldwin is going to be awesome. All the hard hit metrics work for him. It's amazing. He was a rookie last year, a rookie. And not only that, a catcher. A rookie catcher hit 19 home runs with a 274 batting average. Like this guy getting ready to take the world by storm. I don't know who is. Bat speed, exit velo, barrel rate, slug, X slug. It's all there. His K rate was 15%. I mean, he's making everybody look bad. Being in a rookie, it's amazing. This is the guy. This is the breakout guy that I think, especially in a two catcher NFBC draft and hold league, like this is the guy to get. Like you target a round earlier. His ADP is 87, which that's a little pricey, but I think it's well worth it at a position of need. You want to reach for this guy because there's upside. He's going to bat fourth for the Braves every day. They're primed for a bounce back after a terrible year last year. Even in a terrible year, he's still cranked 19 home runs. He's not going to steal any bases, but that's everybody knows catchers don't steal bases every now and then. But so this is it. This is my guy. This is, as far as catcher goes, this is the one I reach for and slap him in that C1 spot because I know he's got the talent, he's got the opportunity. Murphy's hurt. He's going to get all the playing time he can handle. He's 24 years old. He's awesome. Am I ranting? Yes. All right, Bubba. What do you think?
Yeah, I love Drake Baldwin. I don't think I have many shares because I'm a sucker for the goose in my world is the problem. But I have nothing against Drake Baldwin. He's gonna get a ton of volume. He's gonna catch. He's gonna play DH. The hit tool is legit. Like the batting average thing is the thing I'm most excited about there because catching you just don't get that very often. So if you can get a guy that might play 130 games and hit you 275 or better, that's going to go a very long way at the catcher's position.
Huge.
Like it's going to go very, very, very long way. So yeah, I have zero problems with Drake Baldwin. I haven't found myself taking early catchers too much. Like I got a couple Goose. I have one William. I don't have a Baldwin yet, but I'm not opposed to it. Let's put it that way. Like I do like him quite a bit. I just seem to have been waiting a little more on catchers this year than usual, just because the elite catchers have moved up the board quite a bit. So that would be the only thing, but nothing against Baldwin. I think he's pretty darn good. And Sean Murphy is starting the season on the IL yet again. So yeah, there's really nothing that should slow him down.
No, I think so, and I love your note about batting average. It's so big because let's say you wait and you're like Logan O'Hoppe, batting average maybe 220, something like that, and that just brings you down. Yeah, he might crank 19 home runs maybe, but that batting average will just sink you through a whole season. So you got to make up that batting average somewhere else. But here you don't have to make it up. It's an asset. Sure. And that's a big deal because batting average. I looked at, I love playing NFBC 50s and draft champions. I'm not going to play the main event because I know what's going to happen. All right, and I love to throw away money as much as anybody, but $1,800, look, I don't use Draft Wizard or anything like that. I just draft players I like, so I'll just keep that $1,800 for another day. But yeah, but all my leagues, like batting average, literally is like 1,000th of a point of difference, or it's so razor thin batting average, the difference between like third and last. It's amazing. So it's one of the things I've been trying to focus on is not having those batting average albatrosses around the neck, especially at catcher, because let's say you skip Drake Baldwin, you're like, oh, I'll get Austin Wells. Okay, but that's a 230 average. As that's a 40-point difference. I mean, or Adley, or but then Adley's had struggles. Like, it's just kind of a wasteland, to be honest, Bubba. Like, Kyle Raleigh is awesome. I bet most main event winners last year had Kyle Raleigh on their team, and that was a boom breakout. Totally get it. I also like Shea Langoliers, obviously 27. I think he had 27 home runs last year. Good batting average. Those are the two guys I want. Shea Langoliers. If I can't get him, then Drake Baldwin.
Love it. All right, let's talk Austin Riley, who it's been his injury after injury. 2 years ago, his hand injuries and an oblique injury. Last year was abdomen and then abdominal, as they say. He's had surgery to get things repaired. Still, like the numbers look in line with what Austin Riley does. He just has not been healthy for the last 2 seasons, and that lowered his ADP, but not as much as you think. He's still inside the top 80 right now, so you're still having to pay a decent price if you believe in Austin Riley. Where are you at this year on Riley? Because I have a tough time. Just this health is starting to bother me right now.
I filed for divorce. I didn't want to get divorced. Austin Riley, I love you.
Me.
It's real expensive. It's not good. Lawyers, filing fees, everything that goes. You don't want to mess with all that, but I can't do what Austin Riley anymore, especially not 68 ADP for third base. The reason why he was so sought after for so many years and why he's still hovering around 68, because everyone remembers how good he was. 2021, 33 home runs, 22, 38 home runs, 2023, not that long ago, right? 37 home runs with a 281 batting average. 37 home runs with a 281 batting average coming from your third base slot. That is spectacular. Oh, and as a side note, Bubba, I don't know what the hell was going on in 2023. I can't remember that far back. But every single player on the Atlanta Braves, I mean, every single one, that was their career year in 2023. That was Acuna's career year. That was when Olsen hit 40 or what his spike year. That was Austin Riley's spike year. That was Ozzie Albies' spike year. I guess it's the ball or something, but 2023 was a huge year for all the Braves. Not 100% sure why, but it happened. But here we go, 2024, 19 home runs, 2025, 16. As you mentioned, he had core surgery. And the quote from the manager was, or the GM was, "We expect him to be ready by spring training." Well, he's young. I mean, he's 28. I don't know. Third base. It's like third base and first base. Unless you're getting that elite, like Junior Caminero, elite Jose Ramirez, obviously. Unless you're getting that elite third base, I think you're just kind of. It's too risky to roll the dice on ADP 68. I mean, you could get a Jackson Merrill, or you could get some outfielder that can hit home runs and steal bases. A pretty good player at 68. So I'm waiting. If I don't get J Ram, Caminero, Jazz, or Machado, I'm not going to reach on Austin Riley. What do you think?
Same page. I have zero Riley. I've tried to draft Riley. If he goes off, I'll tip my cap. I just at that price point, Bloom and I have been going through positions, and like pick 80. Let's just say you're in a 15 team league. You're like you just past round 5. Like, there's a lot of things I need to do to build my roster to take a chance on Austin Riley, at least for me. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, you could like take a chance on like Roman Anthony if you believe in him, or Randy Rosarina if you're looking for that 25-25 situation, or maybe Brent Rooker falls or something like that. You don't need to reach on third base. I don't think.
Agreed. Let's head to second base, where Ozzie Albies wasn't too many years ago was this power source that had plenty of speed, and then it's been a bit of a roller coaster in recent years. Last year we saw 16 homers, 14 steals while hitting 240 over 157 games, the most games he's played since 2019. Ozzie Albies, though, back then cost a lot. Right now, Ozzie Albies is like 175, 180. Like, he's pretty dang cheap if you're in. So I'm real tempted to get back in on the Ozzie Albies train at that price, Britton.
I disagree.
Okay, that's good. That's good. 'Cause I don't have any shares yet, but I'm
I,
more
I
interested than I've been in years past.
I totally get it at that ADP, 150, 160 in that area. I also have a Ozzy Albies t-shirt, Ozzy Albeast from our
Al
friends
Beast,
at
that's awesome.
RotoWare. Also from Curacao, as our friend Profar and Mr. Andrew Jones. Ozzy Albie as a person, obviously is awesome. But I think his boom years are behind him, kind of like Acuna. Although Albies came in a year ahead of him, 2017, but he's had 2 good years. And when I say 2 good years, meaning 2 years where he hit 30 home runs. And one was 2013, and then not 2013. I'm so sorry. One was the 2023 year that we talked about that everybody on the Braves hit. Like, did they win the World Series? They did in 2021. I don't know what happened in
I think
2023,
that's
but
it.
man,
Yeah.
man, they were going buck wild down there in ATL. Winning games, doing home runs, going to the varsity, getting those chili cheese dogs. I don't know if you've ever been to Atlanta, but there's
I
a
want to. I've heard about the varsity. Yes, I've
oh
heard about
yeah.
it.
So my wife Sarah and I went to a concert in Atlanta pre-kids, and so we woke up all hungover. So we obviously go to the varsity, which is in Atlanta. It's this famous, like Steak and Shake kind of place. Hot chili dogs, hamburgers, stuff like that. So we get there, and we get there literally, Bubba, when the doors they're locked, and you pull and you look in, and you're like, what? Why aren't they open? And then at like 11:01, somebody comes over and they're like embarrassed for you. They give you that look like, oh, you're this is sad, but you don't care because you're in there and you're like, oh, the varsity, I can smell the grease. It's
Yep.
so delicious. So my wife and I go in there, and I order 2 chili cheese dogs. And now, granted, they're not like the Coney footlong or something. This isn't like a Nathan's contest or anything. So I ordered the 2 chili cheese dogs, 2 hamburgers. I know this sounds bad, but look, they're not that big. All right. I mean, they're like, a couple bites. And of course, the onion rings, because one of the things the varsity is famous for is they make their own onion rings. They don't, there's no Cisco truck where they open up a bag and dump it in a fryer. Like somebody's cutting those babies, bread them, and doing all that stuff. So it's world famous, and they're just super greasy. So we go in there, and I get all that ordered, and my wife Sarah, who you have met, she looks through the menu and goes, yeah, I'm going to get the chicken salad sandwich.
After you order all that, she's like, and I'm not with him.
And the lady looks at her like, the what? And she looks up at the thing. Apparently, no one's ever ordered the chicken salad sandwich at the varsity in Atlanta,
There just in
Georgia.
case somebody comes by.
Yeah. And so anyway, she yells at the manager or somebody back there, and she's like, chicken salad. And everybody turned like, what? And so I watched it happen. So some cook or some manager like literally like went and had to go get a ladder and put the ladder up against this shelf and had to climb up the ladder and got this huge jug, brought it down, opened it, spooned, I guess, chicken salad out of it, and slapped that sucker on there. I'm like, why? What it's like ordering pizza at a sushi restaurant. Like, I mean, pizza's good, but what are we doing here? So I forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, to this day,
Ozzy Albies is like that bucket on the shelf. It seems like a great idea, but no one really should order it.
Yes. Like I like his ADP too, obviously. But I mean, he played 157 games last year, and he had 16 home runs and 14 stolen bases. Isn't that Luis Garcia Jr. numbers?
I was just about to say it sounds identical to Luis. The Nats preview came out the day before this, and it reminds me 100%. Lauren, yes,
yeah,
reminds
awesome.
me 100% of Luis Garcia when you said it out. I said it out loud, didn't click. You said it out, I'm like, yep, that's Luis Garcia Jr.
Those are Luis Garcia Jr. numbers, but Garcia's
like 20
ADP
fewer games
is 229.
Yeah.
All right, so we're talking, maybe not 100 picks later, but a lot of picks later, you can get Luis Garcia Jr. for the Washington Nationals. And another thing I like about Luis Garcia Jr. too, I've always liked. I admit that freely. I'm a little biased towards him, but he's playing at the Dominican Winter League.
Yeah.
And they're using him. They've used him at first base. And the GM for the Nationals said, we had a meeting with Luis Garcia Jr. and said, hey, we're going to expand your horizons a little bit. You're going to play first. You're going to play. He's a second baseman by trade, and apparently it was very positive and went down to the Dominican League with the Gigantes.
Nice.
Which is French for giants, I think. I'm just kidding. They don't speak French down there. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so Luis Garcia Jr., I would pass on Ozzy Albies as much as I love him and go get Luis Garcia Jr. because I think he's going to play more. That's the plan. He's one of their most talented young players. So I think that he might get first base eligibility if all things work out. Also, you can also get Brandon Lau after Ozzy Albies. And I know Brandon Lau is going to the Pirates, but I did some very scientific research, Google, and it's come to my attention that lefty power at Pittsburgh is A-OK because down the right side line, and that's what he does. Lau pulls it is like three, not three. It's like Cincinnati. It's not. It's good for him. Long story short. Now everyone thinks Pittsburgh, Pitchers Park, and that's true if you're a righty. But a lefty power bat can be successful. So don't let that. Long story short, don't let that scare you off. Brandon Lau, second baseman for the Pittsburgh Pirates at pick 166. I'm not a huge. Also, Bryson Stott. I'm not a huge Stott fan, but at 197, you're going to get more stolen bases than Ozzy Albies. I know that for a fact. Now, power maybe not, but I'm not opposed to it. But I'd much rather wait on either Brandon Lau or Luis Garcia Jr. and then take Ozzy Albies, hoping for the best.
Don't not going to argue with you on that one at all. Now I'm really curious. I'm curious of all your opinions on these guys, but Michael Harris II. This is a guy that was quite the divisive person on Twitter last year and recent years because it's just he hasn't been able to stay healthy. But last year, 160 games, went 2020, but only hit 249. So usually the calling card is really good batting average with 2020 skills. Finally goes 2020, doesn't hit for batting average, but still not bad. ADP's around 100, Britton. Are we in on Michael Harris II?
Yes. He did it, Bubba. 2020. He's a legitimate. It happened. He's been flirting with it like an office flirt. Not like at the bar, but like somebody that you work with. That you walk by their cubicle and you do a little flirt business. That was Michael Harris II with 2020. But he did it. He got the date. He got the courage. He asked her out. He said, "What are you doing after work? Let's celebrate. Are you into martinis?" Or if you're Bubba, you'd be like, "Are you into nooners?
Are you how's it nooner sound?"
Is that Bubba? Would that be a line that you would use like if you saw someone that you wanted to ask out? You'd be like, "How about them nooners?"
I think I might get slapped if I say it, but in college, I wouldn't have put it past me if they would have existed. Let's put it that way.
Right. Like, hey, I got a lemon lime nooner with your name on it, if you know what I mean.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. That may be harassment these days. I don't know.
It probably is these days, yes. Probably.
But yeah, so yeah, what the hell was I about? Oh, Michael Harris II. Yes, he pulled it together 2020. I mean, that solid production, you don't have to pay out the wazoo for it. The problem is one concern is obviously the batting average, which you noted. Also, he's going to hit at the bottom of the lineup. That sucks. He's hitting in front of Mauricio Dubon, who is literally the worst hitter in the league. Literally. I mean, and I like Dubon. I like Dubon. I'm sure he's a good shortstop or a great shortstop. Good defense matters, especially at short. I get that. But so he's hitting in front of Dubon, who really sucks. I was looking at this stat the other day. Like Dubon had 5-something plate appearances. He had 4 barrels. 4. That's hard to do when you're swinging a bat in. I don't know, but yeah. So anyway, so that kind of hurts Michael Harris's production, I think. is being down at the bottom of the lineup, which is a mathematical fact that it will limit your plate appearances, and plate appearances are where you get your production. The more plate appearances you have, the more counting stats you'll have. It's math. I've been told. I don't like math, but I've been told that is mathematically correct. More plate appearances equals better counting stats, and if you're hitting in the eighth hole, that depresses your value. Now, he has hit at the top of the order before. Can things change? Sure, and I hope they do for Michael Harris. But yeah, it's like they say, once you show it, you own it. He's a 2020 player. What do you think?
Yeah, I love him. I used to be the most anti Michael Harris guy in the world, but there's two things. I've always believed 2020 was there, but he used to cost a lot. Yeah, like he used to be like a fourth round
Third
pick.
round.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm out. Pick 100. I'm in. We can talk. Like, I like it. And I think there's also a better batting average ahead if BABIP hit the skids. So I think there's a lot to like. The biggest deterrent is what you mentioned. The bottom of that order, not great with Dubon behind him. But yeah, I'll deal with that at a later date and time. But pick 100. I like he is still close to a 5 category guy. And I can dig that for sure.
The projection systems like him. They got him at 22 home runs, which is even better than last year. So, I'm definitely doing it, especially in a redraft league. Like, why not? Go take a shot at him and see what happens.
Agreed. Let's talk about one of the Braves' newest additions this year. Yaz, Mike Yastrzemski, coming over from Kansas City, once a longtime Giant. Yaz is a platoon bat that can give you 15 to 20 homers and hit for no average whatsoever. But that's what the Braves need, honestly. ADP for Yaz is 420, 425, somewhere there. So he's probably more of a DC or late round dart throw. What's your interest or excitement level for Yaz this season?
Like this. You can't, if you're not watching YouTube, you can't see it. But I'm like, so let me get this straight. You run the Atlanta Braves. It's big time. I mean, it's not the Yankees, I understand it, but it's the Yankees of the South, right? The Atlanta Braves are a big time, long, storied Hank Aaron. We're talking long, storied program. And here's what you do: you go sign Mike Yaz. Okay. 35-year-old outfielder. And you go sign Jorge Mateo. Well, I guess, the good news is Jorge Mateo and Matt Olson can, hang out and talk about the good old days in Oakland, I guess.
There you go.
I don't see anything remotely to get excited about. He's a platoon bat. He's I guess he's going to play. We'll say that. They signed him. He's going to play. That's Bubba. That's all I got.
No, he's DC fodder at best for me. Like, he's just a DC depth piece that you can throw out there when things get rough.
I'll say this. He went to Vanderbilt, so he's got that going for him. That's a freaking great school.
Good pedigree. All right, let's head to the mound with the Braves here, and we're going to talk about their ace, Chris Sale, who battled a fluky injury last year, still made 20 starts, 125 innings. The ratios are still great. The strikeouts are great. Backed up his 2024 production in that regard, just didn't have the innings, as I mentioned. ADP for Sale is about 35-ish, give or take. So he's he's in that top 5, 6 off the board at the pitching department.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on Sale this year? Because my only concern every year is he's gonna be 37. Like, when does it stop, Britton?
I'm not going to find out because I'm going to pass on him, and I know that I've missed out. Like, there are a couple years recently where he was Cy Young, awesome, totally get it. But like you said, he's going to be 37 years old when the season's going mid-season. So 37 years old, lefty. I'm worried. I'm going to pass on him. Now, for whatever it's worth, he is a free agent in 2017, or excuse me, 27. God, is it year? What year is it?
It's 2026. It's crazy.
Is next year 2027? What the hell,
we're
Bubba?
old. We're old.
Holy s! I want to get in that hot tub time machine. Did you ever see that
Dude,
movie?
one of my favorite cult classic movies ever. I got made fun of when I first started watching it in college because again, old. And then all of a sudden, my fraternity, by about the second year, more people started watching with me because they realized just how great it is, especially if you have like a 12-pack next to you.
Hell
It's
yeah.
outstanding. It's a great, just under the hood type deal.
I love that movie. I'm also a sucker for Lizzie Kaplan. You know,
I wouldn't say a sucker. That's pretty
that
that's an
that that
honest situation.
that's my that's kind of the my crush situation.
That's your hall pass.
That's my thing right there. Anyway, whoa,
Would you give her a lemon
hey,
lime
is this
noon?
thing on, Sarah?
So
Anyway,
no Chris
that's my
Sale for
type.
you.
That's my type.
Uh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
The couch tonight for Britain.
Oh, let's talk
I'm
about
just
the
kidding. She
next.
doesn't give a
Yeah,
shit.
I
Yeah, she
know,
could
I
care
know.
less. I wish she.
Sarah's
Yeah.
she's
She's like,
awesome.
yeah, whatever. But
She's awesome.
anyways, so Chris Sale. Yeah, so he's in the last year of his deal. He's making 18 grand, 18 grand, more like 18 grand a pitch.
Yeah,
I don't know how the math works out, but $18 million this year. Hopefully he'll get another contract, try to stay healthy this year. I do kind of buy into that walk year narrative. I always have. But man, he's been pitching a long time, my friend. Guess what year was his rookie year in the league?
see if he's gonna be 37 this year. Carry the
I guess there is
two.
some math involved.
Yeah, I was like 2009,
2010.
2010. I knew it's somewhere down there. Yeah, that's insane.
2010 with the Chicago White Sox. He was 21 years old. And some good trivia that year, his rookie year in 2010. Jesus, where was I in 2010? I think I still lived in Memphis back then. Anyway, 2010 for the Chicago White Sox. He picked up 4 saves that year. The only saves he's ever gotten in his entire career was in 2010. He got 4 saves. Interesting.
Yeah, that 4 saves in his first year.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then he got 8 the next year. My bad. Yeah. So he's got 12 saves in his career. That's interesting. Chicago White Sox, Boston, and then now ATL. Any total number of innings pitched? Is that right? Over 2,000. I don't know. I like Chris Sale. I think he is. If anyone can like mentally motor through 37 years old, it's him. You know, kind of like. But then you look at guys like Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw. Like at some point, it just stops. And I think at that ADP, you're as Van Halen said, you're running with the devil. Nothing wrong with that. Devil's fun. Devil's good. Hot for teacher. Diamond
Hot
Dave.
Teacher, yes. Jump's a really good one.
Heck yeah, Eddie Van Halen, man, he did it all. He was playing. He was doing the guitar, playing keyboard. Like that guy's a freaking genius.
All right. Yeah, that was a special group. 80s rock. You can't find it anymore. It's an absolute shame. Let's talk Spencer Strider, who's trying to find something because it's disappeared. Ligament, let alone velocity and everything else with him. Came back and made 23 starts last year after coming off the IL from his Tommy John brace procedure. Was definitely not the Strider of old. We saw glimpses, but as a whole, it was shaky. ADP is just outside the top 100. I'm out, but I could see a world where people can tell me otherwise. What's your thoughts on Strider this year?
Same thing. I'm out. I watched his starts last year. It never looked right, even in his good starts. He just doesn't look right. And is it mental? Is it physical? I'm sure it's both. So I'm out on Strider. I did draft him in a few places last year. I watched his starts. It's like Sale. I can't do it. It's too risky, especially when you draft and hold. Now redraft, totally different ball game. But in a draft and hold, like my general philosophy, and this has nothing to do with the Braves, but I guess I'll just throw it out there, see what you think. I want Skubal, Skeens, or a Crochet in that first round. Like I've totally gone full circle here. Like I want to do pocket aces because like later on, it's just having that 200 inning, at least a good possibility that 200 inning is so important. You don't want to wait. You don't want to put your chips in on Sale as your SP1 or, Strider as your SP2 or 3. It's just so risky, in my opinion. So I view Strider just like you do, just like Chris Sale, like talent, yes, historically great, yes, but something's just it's just too risky for me with Strider.
Yeah, very, very risky, and it's got me not excited this year. Like I really got to see that velocity come back up. Another guy that supposed to be healthy, we'll see, is a Spencer Schwellenbach. He started throwing again late in September. Should be good to go, they say. Made 17 starts in 2025 after making 21 starts in 2024. Everyone was super excited to draft him this last year, and they got a decent run, but not everything they wanted. ADP is about 80 to 85 right now. What's your thoughts on Schwellenbach?
I'm out. I'm out on Schwelly too. He was one of the hottest talked about pitchers, like sleeper pitchers last year. Even though his ADP was pretty high, everybody was on Schwellenbach. I was too, and then he got injured. I unfortunately, I just feel the same way about Schwellenbach that I do Sale and Strider. I think it's just too risky. I wish him the best. I hope he has a great year, but I am not going to bet on it after his injuries. I just think it's too risky. Now, the projection systems love him. All right, like you look at ATC or whatever, it's 164 innings with a 3.45 ERA. I hear you. I hear you. But again, it just makes me real nervous with the way his injuries went last year. What do you think? Am I getting a little cautious? Like you don't win.
Yeah.
Well, I think maybe you do win being cautious. I
You
don't.
can win
Maybe
being
overly
cautious.
cautious.
You're with me, and that's sometimes I wonder if that's my problem by being overly cautious. But that's just what I do, and it's like I don't mind taking a chance on some of these guys if it was like they're not coming off an injury. Like we didn't really see them finish the season. I want to see them on a mound. Like Cole Reagan's, I'm willing to give a shot to. We saw him make 3 starts. Like
Yeah, he did.
these guys didn't really do anything. And again, I could be completely stupid for that, but I tell myself if I stick with my plan throughout the entire draft and don't pick and choose favorites, then at least it's consistent. And it's not always the answer, but that's what we're
It
going
doesn't
with
feel
today.
right.
No,
It doesn't feel right. Like if I press the button on Chris Sale, I'm not going to like it. I may at the end of the year because he's awesome, but or Schwellenbach or Strider, like I'm not, it doesn't feel right for whatever reason. And I watch a lot of Braves, and Strider worries me the most out of those 3, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and I will say this much that with all these pitchers we talked about, like Sale's probably the one I would take the most out of, which is crazy.
Yeah,
But not in love with any of them, to your point.
yeah. And speaking of risky, Ronaldo Lopez.
Yep.
Like I know he's going to get a shot to win the job, but how in the world can you draft Rolando Lopez in a draft and hold league? Redraft, hey, go for it. Redraft is great. I love redraft leagues. 12 team. But the first league I was ever in, Bubba, was a ESPN 10 team redraft, and it was fastest finger.
Nice.
No waivers or anything like
no
that.
waivers.
No,
in a team league, that means everybody's out there.
no fab. Oh, it was the Wild West, baby. I loved it. I would wake up every morning at like 6 a.m. and to see what happened in the West Coast games and click on whoever had a 4-for-4 night. And you just churn and burn because it didn't matter. It's 10 teams. So you just pick up whoever's hot. So I love that. But so yeah, in one of those leagues, pick up Ronaldo Lopez. Maybe he's good. He was good for a minute a year or two ago. But man, these places are crazy. Like 136 innings pitch projection from ATC with a 3.91 ERA. I love to gamble. I've quit gambling, Bubba. I've quit gambling. I deleted my DraftKings account. I said no mas. No, not doing this anymore. Not doing it. Nice. But if I were to reload that sucker, let's say Sarah and the kids are out of town. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One of those weekends.
If I were, what an idiot. If I were to reload that sucker, first of all, that's really gambling is stupid. But if I were to do it, I would bet again. I would bet the under on 136 innings pitched for Lopez, and I would bet the house equity line of credit, SunTrust. Give me all the money on an ERA over 3.9. Oh, come on, man. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. I love you, Ariel. Like, I've met the great guy. That ain't happening, man. That just ain't happening.
Nope. I agree. I want nothing to do with Ronaldo Lopez. I pass him quickly in the draft streets. Not even a thought in my mind. But a guy that is kind of interesting to me, that is Hurston Waldrop. Now, I get it. He's young, but between AAA and the bigs, we saw 28 starts. We saw like almost 150 innings. Like it was 147 innings. In the bigs, he was great with the Braves. Like, sure, there's probably still growing pains to come. ADP, though, it's like 265, 270. That is something I'm down to get down with.
I'm down to get down.
Let's get down to get down. Let's get
that
down.
me. Yes, that was my hip hop record in 1991. Down to get down. Britton Allan raps. Thank God that
Same year
didn't
Chris Sale made his debut. Yes,
that's right. Me and Chris Sale. But yeah, this is the guy I want out of all of them, especially at its ADP. You mentioned 250 ish. This is the guy. A heralded prospect, Hurston Waldrop. His name's ridiculous. All right. And my first name's Britton. So, I know what I'm talking about. His name is ludicrous. It makes no sense. But look, 56 inning pitch, 55 Ks, 2.88 ERA, a 1.1 whip. I mean, hell yeah, man. This is the guy. Like, we talked about Profar. We like him at his ADP. Waldrop is the player to target. I've in my 50s. I've done a lot of 50s. I just keep drafting Bubba. I can't stop. It's a problem. But so I target Waldrop every single draft in a draft and hold league. I want him on every single team. I think he's going to be awesome. I think he's going to have 160 inning pitch with a 3 ERA and a reasonable whip. He's going to win a lot of games. I'm down. I think he's going to shine. I think Waldrop is the player, the pitcher to get. I think Profar is the fourth outfielder to get at his ADP. It's crazy. It's just going to keep going up. But that PED suspension is kind of on everybody's mind. And when you see his numbers, you're like, yeah, what is this? But Profar is going to hit at the top of that Atlanta order, and he's going to play every day, and they're going to ride him because they signed him, and they're going to, you better get your ass out there, Bub. Earn us that contract money back with production. And then you've got Drake Baldwin, who is, I think, going to be the next superstar. Am I totally biased? 1,000%. But all his hard metrics back it up. So Hurston Waldrop is the pitcher to get for Atlanta. Drake Baldwin is a breakout, bust-out superstar. Maybe not Cal Raleigh-ish, but I would not surprise me at all if he busted out 30 home runs and had one of those years where you look back and go like, oh, my God, I got him in the 8th round. That's so awesome. And then Profar for solid production at a really good price.
I like it. Like it a lot. One last guy I got for you is the closer, but prices are crazy. ADP is around 70, 75. That's why I sell Iglesias. Gets older, gets you the saves. Production still there, but you can see I call him he's following the Kenley Jansen path of not as dominant, but still gets the job done. Where are we at on Iglesias?
You got to get him if you want. I'm fine with his ADP, no issue. That's what he deserves. He's going to get 25 to 30 saves. That's going to happen. He's not going to lose his job, other than injury, but that can happen to anybody. So yeah, I mean, he's just solid. Do I want him? No. But if I'm not going after, if I'm in a draft and hold and I'm not going after the top guys, you can get him a little bit. You can get him at a reasonable draft price a little bit later, and he's going to do probably just as well as Chapman, who you have to get earlier. Probably just as well as Bednar, and he's got the job. And in a draft and hold league, you have to get closers. You have to get catcher early, and you have to get closer early. Like if you're banking on Alejandro Kirk to be your C1, you're in a hole. You're in a deep dark hole. The devil in the hole. You can't start out like that.
We're
It's like
back to Van
closer.
Halen.
And so back, yeah. So God, running with the devil. That's like my karaoke song. It really is.
I could see you going wild with that
dun,
one. Dude, that's what we need at
dun.
FPAS. We need a karaoke night.
Oh, now that's a great idea.
Like we could have a lot of fun with that, I think.
Hey, you have a lot of pull with the Baseball HQ guys.
See what I can do.
You can make that happen.
Let's see what I can do.
We're on probation.
Nah, you guys, I think after last year's Family Feud, I think you're not on Double Secret anymore. I think it's just more like you're good. Yeah.
Dean Wormer, you're on Double Secret probation. Like, shit, man. I deserve it.
Blutarsky. 0.0. Sorry,
Fat
I love that.
Dumb is no way to go through life, son. Yeah, tell
it
me
worked
about
for me.
It's too late.
It's one of my favorite movies ever is Animal House, but that's a whole other show for another day. One of the last things I have for you here, prospect wise, what are we looking at? Because they've called most of them up. I know there's a few pitchers potentially, but at least from my vantage point, I don't see much this year. But is there anything we could potentially see for 2026?
Aha, Bubba. This is one of the most exciting topics that I wanted to get to. I even wrote notes.
Got a paper.
Look at that. I know you're a pen and paper person yourself.
Heck yeah.
So there's one prospect I'm really excited about. All right, so there's two that are top 100. One is Ken Caminetti, the cousin of Ken Caminetti, but he's like 19, drafted in 2024. He's not going to sniff anything. But J.R. Ritchie, I want to imprint this like a baby duckling coming out of the shell following mother duck. I want to imprint in the brain J.R. Ritchie, 22 years old. He had Tommy John surgery in May of 2023, 49 innings pitched in 2024. Okay, last year, now recovered from Tommy John, 140 innings pitched between AA, AAA, 2.64 ERA, a 1 whip, 140 Ks. He K'd 140 people last year in AA and AAA in 140 innings. We know, well, I shouldn't say that. We strongly suspect Sale, Schwellenbach, Strider, freaking Ronaldo Lopez. We know J.R. Ritchie is going to get called up as their number one pitching prospect to make starts. There ain't, I think I was just about to do a triple negative. There ain't no way, never, that those four guys are going to make it through a full season without some type of significant IL stint. J.R. Ritchie, I'm not saying draft him in a 12-team league or even a deeper league, but in a draft and hold league, J.R. Ritchie for the Braves. He ended the year in AAA, 140 Ks, 140 innings with a under 3 with like a 2.4 ERA. I'm 100. He's one of my players that I'm targeting every single back end of a draft and hold. Round 40. What's his ADP? I can look it up real quick. I guarantee it's like it's in the 500s. Okay.
Over the last 7 days, it's 614.
614. Mm-hmm. Whatever, dude. He's going to make starts for the Braves. He's their number one AAA pitcher who pitched well last year. You got to get him. Bubba. J.R. Ritchie. His name's J.R., like J.R. Ewing from Dallas. One time, J.R. Ewing. I don't know if you're old enough to remember Dallas, the television show.
Just barely old enough. Yes. They shot her, man. They shot her. What the heck? They shot him.
J.R. Ewing was this Texas oil tycoon, and of course had a dysfunctional family because everybody's rich and drunk. And anyway, So one time, the actor that was playing J.R., he also liked to have a stiff cocktail, if you know what I mean. And he was on an interview. While it's being filmed, he didn't know he's being filmed, but he picked up a drink and he drunk it and he slammed it on the thing and he goes, This is iced tea. He was so mad that they gave him
Oh,
iced tea
beautiful.
instead of whiskey. Like he stormed off the set. It was hilarious. Anyway, so
I
every
could
time
see
I
that
see
from the
J.R. Ritchie, I think of
80s.
J.R. Ewing, and then I think of this is iced tea.
That's awesome. That's outstanding. All right. Any other prospects, or is it Richie Rich season?
It's J.R. Ewing / Richie Rich season. He's the only one you want.
Okay.
Otherwise, the cupboard is cleaned out, bare. Don't worry about it. But yeah, I do love some J.R. Richie Rich. That's my guy. Those are my 4 guys for the Braves. J.R. Richie for the deep flyer. Jerks and Profar for the 4th outfielder. Waldrip for your 5th SP5. He's going to be good. He's going to outperform your 5 and 4, I think. And of course, last but not least, my favorite catcher to grab, because next year he's going to be a top 3 catcher. So is Drake Baldwin. Go ahead and get him at ADP where you can right now, because it ain't going to be like that next year.
All right. Final question I have for you then. What's your expectations for the Braves in 2026?
They're going to have a record above 500. They're going to have a good season, but they're not going to the playoffs. They're injured, and they can't beat the Phillies. Like, the Phillies are just too talented. They're going to run that division. The Mets are good too. They're restocking their talent. When you've had a season, Bubba, when you've had 76 wins, finishing below the Miami Marlins, and in your big off season is Mike Yastrzemski and Jorge Mateo. And I know they signed Kim and he got hurt on a fluke, like he split his finger, like doing ice capades or something. I don't know what happened there, but you're not competing with Philly. You're not competing with the Mets. What are you doing, Braves? It's like the offseason didn't even happen. I don't know what's going on. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but that sucks. Yep. If you're a Braves fan, that sucks. Now, you can always still go, yeah, but we have, Ronald Acuna. He can only do so much, man. Like, he needs help. Everybody needs help. And when you've got Profar, who we like, but batting 4th, like, that's a joke, man. Like, that give me a break. So is it going to be better than last year? Probably. Is it going to be good? Probably not.
Probably not. Well, we'll see. Yeah, the Phillies will be dang tough to take care of there. Before we head out of here, I always love chatting with you. Remind everybody where they can find you and what you got going on at the Palazzo Podcast.
Yes. 2 L's, 2 Z's, as we say. The Palazzo Podcast is a fantasy baseball podcast where I host with the great Michael Govier. He's a crazy person, but I promise he's got a heart of gold. You're going to love him. And then Mike V, who is actually a sane person. So he kind of good, offsets the two of us, tries to keep us on track. He tries. He really does. He's a great guy. If you would follow me on X, it's just my name, Britton Allan, Britton Allan, because I post when we do our YouTube. We do a lot of live stream, and we take questions, because live streaming is a lot of fun. And we just say whatever pops into our minds, and we always answer every single question that comes up. So if you would follow me, or go to the YouTube page for Palazzo, Pallazzo, and if you follow us, then subscribe or whatever, then it'll click it. And it'll also make Michael Govier happy if you click the subscribe button. Apparently that's a thing.
And we all want to make Michael Govier happy. So
that's
go
right.
Check that out for sure. But thanks for joining me, my friend. Always a blast talking to you. Always great laughing with you. I can't wait. The only thing that would have made this better is if we were in person, drinking a couple cocktails or a beer or two, and really, really living it up, because it's always a good time when we get to do that. But it's only like 10 months away, I guess. 11 months away.
That's right.
That far.
You know what would be fun? We could talk about this off air if you want, but what would be fun if we did like a podcast like in Arizona, not like during the seminar or whatever, but do like a cross podcast, since we're all going to be out there. I thought that would always be fun.
We could figure something out. I guarantee you that. That's not a problem, but we will talk about that. But for now, we'll wrap this one up, and I appreciate you joining me, everybody. Make sure you follow Britton on Twitter and the Palazzo Podcast, 2 L's, 2 Z's. Go check it out. This was Bench with Bubba, episode 819, your 2026 Atlanta Braves preview.
It's a blast, baby. Thank you, Bubba.
Beautiful.